My name is Maria Vernet. I am a research biologist at Scripps Institution of Oceanography. And I've been here for almost 30 years, since I was a postdoc, and then I went up the ranks as a researcher. I mostly work in Antarctica, and my area of research is trying to understand how the algae in Antarctica grow, because they are the ones that create the first food for all the animals and bacteria that live in Antarctica. So we are interested in knowing how environmental effects such as sea ice, light, night and day, but also winter and summer, and affect this growth, and then how the animals connect with the algae to feed upon them, and then how is the carbon that goes from the atmosphere to the ocean goes then to the animals and the bottom of the ocean. The research administrators are critical to any research that we do, especially now that we do a lot of research in foreign countries and away from not only UCSD and California, but the US. They are the ones that really make sure that we spend the money correctly, that we not only keep to the rules, but what I find very helpful to the several ones that I have interacted with, especially right now, I think it's been Irma Nelson, is that you tell them what is it that you need to do to have your research work out, and they sit down with you and tell you how can you, within the system and the rules that exist, you can make it happen. And then they make it happen once you agreed upon something. So I would say that without them, we would not be able to do science. And so they are as important to science as we are scientists. Yeah. When we think of a project, we get enthusiastic about the science, about the questions we want to answer. We get enthusiastic about going to the ocean and Antarctica and collecting all the samples that we need, and what are we going to do with them, and who are we going to interact with, and things like that. But then comes, how are we going to make it happen? And how are we going to obtain the money to make the science work? And then once are lucky and the money arrives, how are we going to spend it in a smart way to get the most out of it, and to be able to support the people that we need, the students, the technicians, even ourselves. So we sit down with the program manager, and he or she makes sure that we get what we need, that we comply with all the regulations that exist, and that the system functions. Because basically, the UCSD administration is a black box, yeah, for us. And the fund manager is one of the windows that we have into that black box. And definitely, everyone that I have worked with are excellent. Not only many times respond to our needs, but they also predict things that could be coming. So they are looking out for us, and knowing what are our interests or our needs, then they get in touch with us and says, hey, I want to let you know this is coming up, or now things have changed, and whatever you did before as a collaborator now is going to be a subcontractor, or vice versa, and things like that. So they are very critical in really making things happen, not only to obtain the money, but also to use the money in a smart